you so much for joining me. My name is Trish. I am an ambulatory wheelchair user, and I use this channel to show you what my day-to-day life is like. In this video, I am going to share some advice I have for new wheelchair users. If you are not a wheelchair user and you enjoy my travel type videos, don't worry. More of those videos are coming up soon. Adapting to life as a wheelchair user can be difficult, but with a little patience, confidence, and adaptation, you can start to enjoy the independence that a mobility aid offers. I remember a long time ago when I started using my first wheelchair, it was overwhelming. Inaccessibility is everywhere, it's frustrating, it was a difficult time. But now I have a lot of wisdom and advice that I'd like to share. So keep watching and I'll talk a little bit about how I became comfortable with my wheelchair and how you can too. No matter where you are on your journey as a mobility aid user, I'm here to guide you through adapting to life on wheels. So I'll get on with it. Here are my top tips for new wheelchair users so you can make life easier and start rolling with confidence. The very first tip happens before you get your first chair. You have to make sure what you get fits your needs and your lifestyle. You should not put your life on hold because you have mobility needs. Wheelchairs come in all shapes, sizes, and weights. There's manual chairs, there are electric chairs, and there are chairs that are a little bit of both. When you are figuring out what you need, there are a few factors you should consider. The first is portability. How easy will it be for you to travel with your wheelchair? And I don't mean just like trips or flying. I mean, how easy is it to get to the grocery store? If you're a parent, can you get your kids events with this wheelchair? Things like that. In a perfect world, everybody with a wheelchair would have access to a wheelchair van. But that is not even close to reality. They are expensive, they can be hard to maintain, and some people honestly just don't want one, and that is okay too. So you need something that's going to fit in whatever mode of transportation you take. The next one is comfort. You need something that you fit into well and that won't hurt you when you're sitting for hours a day. Because in an improper fit wheelchair, after about 4 to 5 hours, your butt's hurting, your back's hurting. You don't want any of that. That takes away from your quality of life. I use my wheelchair for a lot. I can't walk around a grocery store. Anything beyond a very short distance, I use my wheelchair. But I'm not 100% dependent on it. I can walk a little bit. But I still need all the comfort because on a long day, I could be in there for 8 to 10 hours. The next thing you need to look at, especially if you're buying a wheelchair on your own, is weight capacity. Give yourself some wiggle room. Be kind. Holidays come, things like that. Gain some weight. So don't get one that is right at your weight capacity. So if you weigh 210 pounds, do not get one that has a 220-pound weight capacity. I'm a mom, so I have to factor in my daughter's weight too, which is not a problem. My current wheelchair was actually custom fit for me when I weighed like 80 pounds more. So my itty-bitty 6-year-old is no issue if she wants to ride on my lap. That's actually her preferred way to get around. And the last thing that you need to consider is maneuverability. What are you using your wheelchair for? Are you going to be off-roading a lot on bumpy hiking trails, or are you mainly going to be on smooth surfaces? Do you need something smaller to get through all kinds of tight spaces, or can you have a bigger chair? All things you want to think about. What I currently use the most is just a manual chair. So whatever chair type you end up getting, just make sure that you have thoroughly considered your needs before getting it. If it's possible for you, go to a seating specialist. They are wonderful. They know what they're doing. I did this for the first time last year, and The chair is so great. I've said it before, it literally was life-changing. And that is because this man does this every day. There were a few things on the chair that I don't know that I love, that I took his guidance on, but he did a much better job than I would have done had I built this chair myself. And now I know next time what my preferences are. Because there's nothing wrong with the chair, there's just a few things that maybe don't meet my preferences. The next thing I want to talk about is learning how to maneuver in your chair confidently. I know I can't be the only one. Using a wheelchair used to make me incredibly self-conscious. As an ambulatory wheelchair user, it's like a double dose of self-consciousness, because if something is totally inaccessible and I really need it, I can get up. And society has this view that, like, if you can even walk a few steps, you're faking it. You don't need that chair. And that couldn't be farther from the truth. And when you are getting used to the chair, it's important to take time to learn about it. Learn what it can do. Learn how the mechanics work. Learn how to take it apart if needed, because the need will arise. You'll want to keep a little toolkit in your car, especially if you have a manual chair. You will want to kind of practice in your living room or your driveway so you can maneuver well when you get into a crowded space. People will not watch out for you. So you need to learn how to navigate in a world designed not for you. It's not fair, but it is what it is. Mastering techniques like backing up, pivoting in tight spaces, and even opening doors really do make a world of difference for independence. If you feel like you're not very good at moving around in your wheelchair, just keep practicing. It will come. I always feel like these videos where I just sit here and talk with you are so long, but I'm close to being done. The next thing I want to talk about is how to travel with ease. This is mostly a travel channel. I do other things here and there, but most of the videos are me going somewhere. So I feel like I can't make this video without talking about traveling in your wheelchair. When you're a new wheelchair user, traveling feels like an impossible task. It feels like it's more hassle than it's worth, but it's not. All you need to do is plan ahead. I think the biggest part of travel planning when you're a wheelchair user is figuring out how you're going to get to your destination. Most buses and trains have spots specifically for wheelchairs, so you can stay seated. I can take steps and transfer fairly easily most days. So, for me, having to get up is not a big deal. But if you cannot get out of your wheelchair, then you're going to want to pick a mode of transportation where you can limit transfers. I personally prefer to travel by car. It allows me to take a trip at my own pace, stop as often as I need to, and have room for any extra things I need to make sure the hotel room or rental house we're going to stay at is accessible. In my opinion, again, this is just my opinion, you can leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are on the subject. Flying is the worst way to go. And it's not that I don't enjoy flying. It's that flying as a wheelchair user is just stressful. I worry that the baggage handlers will break my wheelchair. And last time we flew, I was not treated very nicely. I don't want to get into the whole story right now, but a gate agent spoke to me like I was a child. If you do fly, make sure you contact both TSA and the airline ahead of time to make sure that your needs are met. All right, I'm almost done, I promise. The last advice I have is build a support network. Connect with other wheelchair users. Don't be scared to reach out to people who have a similar condition as you. It can be incredibly helpful to connect with someone who knows what you're going through. It makes a big difference in your quality of life to just have someone that you can go to. I know not everyone can find someone in their local area, so fortunately, in today's day and age, there's the internet. And there are tons of online support groups. Being a wheelchair user can be daunting, But with some practice and some confidence, it can be a very empowering way to get the most out of your life when you're disabled. If you use these tips, you will be well on your way to gaining that confidence and taking control of your life again. If you are still watching, I cannot thank you enough for your support. It means so much to me to be able to use this channel to speak on matters like this. And I know this video won't be for everyone. I know not everyone on my subscribers list is a disabled person, but if I can help just one person feel less alone, I want to keep doing videos like this occasionally. If you are new here, please hit like and subscribe. I don't just do content like this. I go to theme parks, sometimes I cook disability-friendly meals. I like to get a little crafty. Whatever I do in my day, I share with you. It is time for me to say goodbye, but I hope to see you soon.